Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I have a new layout today. I'm doing it for the Scrapping Good Times Scrapbooking group. It's an Australian group on Facebook, and in March this was the layout that we were given to Scrapleft. So here's my take, and I've done it for my son, who is older than you would think but acts like a 2-year-old, and he spammed his sister's phone and it led itself to these photos, which once I get hold of them, fair game. Alright, so I've chosen some neutrals for this one. I tried to keep the colours of the layout that I was using it for inspiration, but I've gone neutrals and the photos are a bit leery, so that brings it down and tones it down. I've gone through my scrap pile, pulled out all the things I could find in the greys, blacks and the whites that would complement this. I'm using a tan frame for this one, and I've got this great paper which I didn't realise I had, but now is fantastic. It's all about boys, and boys will be boys and things that they do. And I'm using black for my framing. I have this photo play paper that's got cameras on it with a pale pink tinge, but it matches nicely with the beige. And I did pick out this striped and spotted paper, which I actually end up not using throughout the layout because it's not necessary. So the cameras are my feature page because he's photo spamming, and I'm adding that across the double to tie it together. The same with this paper about boys, which I really think is appropriate. I got out my cardstock because I use it for framing of my photos, and for the black to stretch it, I actually just trim off 1/2-inch strips, which I'm going to use to frame my coloured pieces of card paper, so that it gets a black frame, but I'm maximising the use of my cardstock so that it will lift it off the page but not waste cardstock in behind. I find sometimes framing is an overuse of cardstock, so I look for ways to trim it down, and because it's black you can fit it in and it blends nicely. So trimming it down, making sure that it's all even, and that's going to be the base there. I do the same again for the other strip on the other side of the layout because it is a double layout, and that allows me to maximise my use of the cardstock. Now I'm taking off 1/4 inch so that it has a nice frame. I'm putting this one down, and you'll see I'll put it down first and then I start layering it, and it's a little bit too close to the edge, so I actually remove it because I need a bigger frame on the side, but also to make sure that that whole left hand side of the layout is full with the pieces of paper and allowing some overlap to hold it all together. I use double-sided tape to put down my layouts. I find it to be the best to hold for me. It's what I prefer. I use Express it at all times when I can because it is the better quality and lasts longer over time and doesn't disintegrate. I'm putting this down here, as you can see, and it's paneling it together. I'm using the left-hand page to guide my right-hand page. That way I make sure that it all marries nicely and the pages, when put together, actually are seamless. I layer in this part here. As you can see, the double-sided tape allows it to go into place nice and smooth. I tend to leave a section first. I'm now going to put in my photos, but I need to frame them or mount them, one using the black and the brown to double highlight the one that I think is the feature photo, which is him, of course, by himself, being a little bit sensible. My daughter had left her phone lying around, and of course my eldest son couldn't resist spamming it with photos. When she found them, she sent them to me and said, look what he's done. And I thought, well, fair game. I get a photo spam and I get hold of the photos, I'm using the photos. So you'd think they'd grow up, but no, they stay and be silly, and it's fun, it's memories, and in the future people will see what is this photo spamming all about. Alright, so I've trimmed down all the scraps into 3x3 squares, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, a 3.5 by 3.5, just to build up a patchwork of colour blocking like we used to do all the time in the old days of scrapbooking. And I'm layering it up underneath as per the sketch that was the inspiration. And I believe that sketch actually came from a Pinterest page. And I'm doing this video really to try and generate some interest for this Scrappingly Good Australia scrapbook Facebook page and encourage people to involve themselves in the challenges, especially as of next month I'm taking over the challenges and providing some inspiration and hopefully getting some interest back into scrapbooking for the Australians, or at least the sharing of it. I'm layering up these photos as per the sketch, and I use them in the overlaying there, and where the bottom one is, I'm popping it up so that I've got some dimension and looking not so flat on the page. Once again, I'm layering in those scraps that I have cut into the various square sizes to build the interest. I'm using the smaller pieces as well as the larger to tuck in behind the photos, and it's balancing out both sides of the page because I'm using the squares and the colours on both sides. I created my own tag using the grey scrap there. I've cut out a circle which becomes the part of the tag, and I punched a hole in it. I've added some twine there just to finish off that tag. It's really easy to make a tag. I learnt the easiest way from my friend who is an avid scrapbooker as well, by just cutting off a triangle when you fold it in half at the end, and it makes a perfect tag. I use this tag for my journaling, and it's telling the story of how he got his sister's phone and spammed it. I'm tucking that in under the photo there. That's why it's really good when you pop them that you leave a little bit of space. Journaling is important because in the future people want to know what happened. So you can now see that I've got the bare bones of it done. What I've gone ahead and done on my Cricut is cut out these letters in giant form to fill up the bottom of this layout, and also to emphasize, this is a photo spam. This is like taking over somebody else's phone and filling it up with photos. Can't do that at my work. You can't leave your phone lying around, or people just love photo spamming. I've gone and got a whole lot of my dies that are film strips that ties in to the photo idea, and I'm putting little cameras all over the place, which have come from my Scrap-A-Sketch printables. These are actually of the neutral range, which is perfect because I am using neutrals. It's got the stars and the hearts also from Scrap-A-Sketch printables. They are really, really very versatile and can be used anywhere. I layer it up. Some are popped, some are flat. We're adding dimension. And building your clusters is just about layering it until you're happy with the effect. As I say to my friend, I keep zhuzhing until I'm happy. I'm building up with the frames, putting the cameras into place, as you can see. And then I'm using stars and hearts to build out the clusters. So you can have clusters with boys, you can have clusters with girls. Each page lends itself. It allows it to have more interest for the eye and draws the eye to the photo, or to, in this case, the journaling. That's important as well. You need to include all of those sorts of things. It's not just about now, it's about the future. It's about remembering the memory and capturing it for other people who may or may not read it later in the future. So I've put the clusters in, and I've gone back with some Nuvo drops, and I've also added some clear Nuvo drops to the camera lenses to pop them and give them like the lens effect. I love Nuvo drops. They're very versatile in their uses and what you can do with them. So here's my page. It's a double. Once again, I'm very surprised I keep doing all these doubles, which is quite pleasing. And this is the final one. Please join us at Scrappingly Good, Scrapping at Australia on Facebook. This is the March challenge. My son, with his Photospan, he's such a clown. You can always follow me on Instagram, where I have lots of my layouts, and I hope you found something that inspired you. If you did, give me a like or leave me a comment so I can know what I can improve or change for you. Happy scrapping until next time, and thanks for watching.